Has been one of the world's hardest workers. Audiences all over the country saw Bette Midler as a magical, tireless performer, but those years of constant travel were exhausting. Now she has married, had a baby, and created a home.
This house I paid a lot of attention to because I had this myth circulating in my mind that if it was made with love, it would be lived in with love.
If you were describing in your mind what you wanted it to be, how were you describing it?
I've seen paintings. You know, when you see a beautiful painting, you think, oh, I wish I were in that light. I wish I had that light in my home, because it would be significant somehow to act out the drama of my life in this light. When I did it, I was doing it with paintings in mind, with some Swedish artist paintings and with the Bloomsbury Group's paintings in mind.
But also with painting, I mean, every room has paintings literally on the wall, on the floor, on the... It seems impossible to be depressed in this house.
Well, we haven't been... Well, on a sunny day, I would say it was impossible. But we get blue. Well, I'm not sure. My husband never gets blue. I get blue. And the baby's never blue.
It's 9 o'clock on a Friday night. Just tell us what you've done today so we have some idea of what your life is like.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, the last couple of weeks have been very, very hard, because we're producing our first picture. And I have never been on this side of the camera before. And I don't say that I don't like it, it's just that I wasn't prepared for how much work it was going to be. People want you to be able to make a decision. And if you're an artist, you want something to mean, you choose something because it means one thing, but as a producer you have to consider the economic factors too. You might not be able to afford that artistic choice, and it's rough, because you want to do right by it, and you want it to have resonance and meaning. But on the other hand, just put me in a comedy and just like put me in a fat suit and put me on the stage. I just can't take it anymore.
In Big Business, her new comedy with Lily Tomlin, Bette plays twins, one shy and one sacco.
Hey, babe. I used to be allergic to Angora, but I'm okay now.
Now, Bette Midler, the serious actress and producer, is filming a movie called Beaches.
It's a mix of comedy and drama, and it also has music. And we have high hopes for it. I'm very glad to be singing again, but it's very hard work. There's not that much time between pictures. And also the idea of having made this many pictures on the same lot. You say, am I here again? Haven't they changed the menu yet? It's something to think about. And I wanted that environment. I wanted a home. I wanted to feel I want to know what that felt like. I don't get scripts or offers from other studios or other people. I mean, I haven't.
But why not? I mean, now
I don't know why.
I mean, after 3 enormous movies, you must be one of the most bankable stars in this country.
I feel I am.
And you're still not getting that many projects?
No. There's a certain kind of film that keeps eluding me that I hope I'll be able to make myself, because I feel that I can.
Can you describe it?
Well, it's like those big parts, those Meryl Streep parts. And I know that all the women are in the same boat, saying, well, gee, I would like to have a chance to put on a red wig and stand in a black cape at the end of a pier. I mean, Jane Fonda could do that, too. There's plenty of English girls that could do it, who gnash their teeth. And the feeling is generally that you have, in this town, I believe the feeling is that you have to do it yourself.
What would be the ideal balance in your life?
I think I'd like to have a little bit more time off. I worship my child, but there's the free time that I once had I no longer have, because I prefer to spend it with her. So it's curious. Your life does change, but you trade. It's trading. And I'm happy.
Something I wish we had.
Midler was outrageous in Outrageous Fortune. Wait until you see her HBO special that previews this Saturday night. She appears with her husband, Martin von Hasselberg, and a whole group of performance artists.
Ciao bambini, I'm Mondo Biondo and this is the Mondo Biondo show.
Mondo
That's me.
Biondo.
I am a Mondo Biondo.
Can you do more?
Yes, if you like.
I, Mondo Biondo, am a living proof. You can be rich, 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 and still keep your artistic integrity. Look at me, I go where I want, I do what I want.
She started out as a Russian, but I couldn't sustain a Russian accent because I don't know really any Russian people. But I did have the good fortune to work with an Italian fellow last fall, Michele Platido, in big business. And so his voice was in my ear a lot.
I don't need much. No, a little bread, a little hummus, a little baba ganoush. Where do you think I'm from?
So she's the MC of this, but this is a collaboration. This is the first collaboration between you and your husband.
Yes, it is. First time we've ever worked together, and it was a very pleasant experience. I was surprised.
And can you give us just a description of how he appears on screen?
Well, he wears a rubber tire around his important part, and otherwise he doesn't wear anything. Wears a bald cap, and his partner, who looks a lot like him, is wearing exactly the same outfit. And they both wear big false noses and big false chins.
Shine on, harvester, up in the sky. I now laughing January, February, July.
It's a very silly act.
And those shoes.
And the shoes, oh please, my
those are
shoes.
the Olympics of platform
Aren't they great?
shoes.
And they're really my shoes from the 70s.
But I'm confused about who your husband is. You seem to have two husbands. Would you care to explain that?
Well, I have one husband with two names. His real name is Martin von Hasselberg, but his stage name is Harry Kipper. Now, his partner's name is also Harry Kipper. They are both Harry Kipper, but I know who he is.
But what do you call him?
I call him Harry, but then he got to a point where he really wanted to be called by his own name, so I called him, his real name is Martin, because he has an English accent. So he wanted me to call him Martin, but I couldn't call him Martin. I called him Martin, which he didn't like. So I started calling him Marty, which he also really despised. So now I've sort of, Martin, I try to do the best I can for him.
Is this the first kind of large-scale invasion of our living rooms by performance art?
On cable TV, I believe it is, yes. On public access has, on public access you get a lot of eccentrics, but not so many people who are really professional performing artists.
The first piece really makes you listen to sound in a new way.
Yes.
Can you describe that a little?
Well, it's Luke Creswell. He's a young British percussionist, and he's very inventive. He will percuss on anything.
And there's one in a junkyard? What's
One
that
in a
called?
dump, garbage dump in New Jersey, and that's Paul's a loom.
A heart monitoring machine.
He manages to use a credit card machine as a heart monitor. That says something about America, right?
I think so. I think so.
What about Eudora P. Quickly? Now,
Well,
she's very square in the middle of all this.
Well, yes, but you see, she's a big fan of Mondo Biondo, and so she was allowed to be on the show.
Is she going to be a permanent member of your family?
Well, I don't know.
So to speak?
I don't know. I don't know if Mondo Biondo is going to be permanent. I really enjoyed her. It was the most relaxed I've ever been doing a piece like that.
Is this the first of many collaborations to come, do you think? With Harry or Martin or whatever his name is?
Well, I'll tell you, I had a great time, and he found all that talent. He was the one who really scoured the globe. Many of those people he had known before. Some performance artists are quite frightening to people, but we didn't want to do that. We wanted to give them a chance to open their minds and sort of bring them in gently, because some artists can be quite off-putting, and when people are conservative, they have to be brought along gently. So that's what we did.
I'm a Mondo.